All right, we're here with Giants GM Joe Schoen. Joe, good to see you. How are you?
Good to see you. I'm great. Thanks for having me.
You got it. How's camp been so far?
Camp's been good. Again, working through some position battles. I think we're in a position this year where we have some difficult decisions as the 53-man cut down approaches, and we haven't necessarily always had that in the past. The first couple years we could cut the 53 pretty easily. So I think the depth of the competition has been good, and we've been relatively healthy.
When you look at the experience of Hard Knocks off-season with the New York Giants, right? Some great scenes with your family in your office. How was that experience for you? Like, were you always aware the camera was on every time you stepped into that? Like, how was it? Did you enjoy it?
Well, we were definitely aware the cameras were there, but since it's the first time it's been done, we had no idea what the final product was gonna look like. I didn't know exactly the angles, how much they could see, what they could hear, so we kind of went through it blindly. But I think NFL Films did a good job with it. We had complete trust in them in terms of the sensitivity of the information that they were capturing. So all in all, I think it went well. It was obviously a quiet media cycle when it came out, so didn't love being on vacation and everybody critiquing everything that we did and playing Monday morning quarterback. But all in all, I think it was a good reflection of a lot of the staff members that I have, the staff that we put together, and there's a lot of talented people in the building that deserve some credit for the work that they do and the spotlight on them, and I thought it was good.
Joe, how about Daniel Jones? How do you balance that as the general manager of the team with the 6th overall pick? Looking potentially with the injury concerns with Daniel and maybe a quarterback, doing all that work, but making sure that Daniel's focused on the job at hand, because we understand it's professional, he's getting paid a lot of money and whatever, but, human beings, I mean, everyone's got feelings.
Yeah, absolutely. And Dave's and I believe the best thing to, just shoot him straight. And that's what we did. I think, at the beginning of one of the episodes, it was me talking to Chris Marin. That's what I told Daniel. Like, listen, we're not giving up on you. We still believe in you, but we have to do our due diligence. At the time, he still wasn't even running on grass or on the Ultra G. So you just never know how the body's going to respond to these surgeries. And, so we were thorough in our process at all positions. When you're picking 6, you want to make sure you get it right. And it worked out that we got Malik Neighbors, and, think he's going to be a big part of our offense this year and for a long time, hopefully.
When you look at Neighbors, are you surprised about how good he has looked before the ankle injury, but the impact that he's had so far on this team and this offense?
Yeah, every time you draft these guys, you hope they look like, what you saw when you scouted them and you made those decisions. And he's been exactly what, we saw at practices at LSU or at the games last season. And he's a great kid. He's further along mentally than we anticipated, because Dave's offense is very complex and it's hard to learn. And Malik's done a phenomenal job digesting the information, picking it up, and then executing on the field. So, we're excited for what his role is going to be this year.
When you look at Daniel, obviously he's healthy. That's great, coming back off the torn ACL. What's your expectations of Daniel this year behind center?
Yeah, again, upgraded offensive line, hopefully. Again, knock on wood if we stay healthy. And then, the addition of Malik. And we've got a fast receiver core with Darius Slayton, Wandale Robinson, Hyatt, Malik, the addition of Theo Johnson, who I like out of Penn State, the tight end, again, in the offensive line. So stay healthy and, win games. I
know it was a collaborative decision with Dave's playing a role, but what made Shane the right guy for the Giants taking over for Wink?
Yeah, there were several statistical categories that, Dave was excited about, including the red zone defense. He's been at the top of that the last couple of years. And then the way the schedule worked out when we were in Buffalo, for whatever reason, we played Tennessee 4 straight years. They were always physical, they were always tough, and Dave's had fits, going against Shane. So again, the history, the competition, between the two, playing head to head, and then just who he is as a person and a leader, and his ability to communicate and teach his defense to the players. We thought he'd be a really good fit for where we are.
Burns, what do you think he's going to be for this organization?
Yeah, good young player.
It's unbelievable.
That also brought leadership. He's had a really good camp, and again, just the ability to get after the quarterback, and the addition with him, Dexter, and then obviously Kayvon here too. So I'm excited about our front seven, our defensive line in particular, and again, hopefully, he's going to be one of those guys you have to game plan. If you're playing us, you better make sure you know where Brian Burns is.
Ask you about Saquon and how that all played out. I know the Giants are obviously moving forward. He's a member of the Philadelphia Eagles. But when you look back on everything, how it played off in the offseason, would you have done anything differently with Saquon?
No, and again, we had been going through this for several months, all the way back to November of 22, and we tried, and I've got a really good relationship with Saquon and his previous agent and his current agent, Ed Berry. So, we tried, and we just weren't able to get something done, and, I'm happy we got Devin Singletary and Tyrone Tracy and Eric Gray, had a really good preseason game the other night. He's had a really good camp, and Turbo Miller. So we've got some guys in there we like, and again, I wish Saquon nothing but the best.
When you look at 2024, Joe, successful year. John, when he was at the Hackensack University Medical Center, said, he wants to see improvement. What does improvement look like this year for the Giants in 24?
Yeah, for me, it'd be a healthy New York Giants team. That would help. It's a lot easier to see
Right. You don't want to be pulling guys off the street to play offensive line.
You don't have 4 kickers and 3 quarterbacks and, the offensive line. So, really, again, I think, what's, under the radar a little bit is what the job that Dave's did last year.
Yeah.
Under the circumstances, the injuries, to keep the guys together, continue to build the culture, still be competitive late into December when, we were out of it and we didn't have a chance to make the playoffs. So I think we're going to continue to build on that. I like the group of guys that we have, the additions. Brian Burns is really good leadership and a good player. John Runyon brings, he's got skins on the walls, a 3-year starter in Green Bay, also brings leadership. Jermaine Illuminor, Devin Singletary we mentioned. So, I like the youth. I like the experience, the leadership, and again, just again, the expectations are go out and play football, not beat ourselves. And again, I think Dave's did a good job last year, and we'll continue to build on that and see what happens.
Giants GM Joe Schoen. Joe, good luck this year.
Yeah, thanks. Appreciate it.
You got it.